Hey guys, welcome to another review for you. Today I've got an Alpina AL525 BBG 4SH6. So that means absolutely nothing to anybody, but what this particular model is one of their newest Pilot Heritage watches. I don't know if they put it in the StarTimer lineup. That's normally where the Pilots go. It just says Pilot Heritage on it, anti-shock system. It's a 44mm case, so slightly larger, kind of, historically appropriate Pilot watch. I loved the look of this when I first saw it on their website, but the build quality is actually even better than the look. So I wanted to do a quick video for you today. We're sending these out on our Keeper Box Lux plan, so $99 a month. Members have been really responsive to this particular model. A number of them have been buying the model for the flat rate $469, and it's easy to see why when you look at the detail of it. So let's look a little bit around the case and the movement and the dial, and then I'll show you a few other little features that I love about this watch. So as I mentioned, 44mm case, so larger kind of wrist presence on this one. We've got a big crown here, which I like. Everything here is kind of historically appropriate in terms of sizing and legibility, which is really important. The particular model on this is it's their AL525 movement, which I am almost certain is a Sellita base. They regulate in-house and so on, so you're getting a lot of quality with Alpina watches. What I love most about this watch is the detail on the dial and the vintage color. You've got that lovely matte black dial there. We have a lot of detail around the edge. We've got the minute track around the edge. We also have an internal hour track there. We have the applied indices for the numbers, the sort of lume pip on the dial, I guess. And above those, we've got slightly smaller markers in between the minute dial, the minute track, and the number dials. So you get quite a lot of glint off the light whenever you kind of hit certain angles, which I love. I love the fact that they've gone applied indices. That's not normally necessarily what you would expect from a watch, a Pilot's watch, kind of modern era. Quite often they just do lume on the dial itself. So this has gone a little bit further. We've got the applied indices. In terms of lume itself, let me just see if I can get you some. Okay, so the lume itself is pretty classy, nice and powerful. You've got the logo, which is actually loomed here, which you'll see, which is kind of cool. I thought that was a little bit different. We've got the inside hour track loomed. We've got the applied indices all loomed. And then we have the outer markers as well, the applied indices loomed there. Anything on the dial itself that isn't applied isn't loomed, so you don't get that visibility. That would have been kind of nice if they had gone to that extent, but this particular look I think is great. Just creates really nice legible impact there. So lights back on. There we go. So going down then, so we've looked at the dial. The hand kit's a nice sort of heritage style hand kit. We've got the Alpina seconds hand. You get this on most of their watches, like the Alpina 4s and some of the StarTimers. So it's got this kind of triangle red on the counterbalance, which is nice. Very, very clean seconds hand, just pure chrome kind of brushing around there. Very nice. You get a lot of depth in the dial as well, which I think is a good move with the applied indices. You get that kind of impact when the light hits it. Then around the outside of the crystal, which is sapphire crystal, flat, ever so slight dome on that particular crystal, as you can hopefully see there. But as you go down from that, then you've got a polished edge around the crystal. Then the case itself is circularly brushed, as are the lugs. Then on the side of the lugs, we have this lovely little bevel which kind of carries around the case side as well on both sides. So you kind of get that nice effect, the light glinting off the case. The case sides, again, fully polished, very kind of heritage-y style case profile, flat, low profile. This particular one, it's a 44mm case. Thickness of the case itself is listed at 11.55. I feel like that is without this particular area of the case back. I'll show you in a minute what I mean by that. It is fairly flat and thin, very, very wearable, so no complaints there. You see that lovely Pilot crown there, a big crown on the side. You've got this little push release, which I'll show you now, is for the case back. So it's got a little kind of pocket watch case back. You push that, case back opens. You've got that nice machine drill in there. On the normal case back, it's just this kind of very simple cross-edge design. Very, very nice. Then when you open it up, we've got much more of a modern take. We've got the full open display back there. You'll see nice modern polishing around the edges. Alpina Pilot Heritage, Swiss made, limited edition. This particular one, 298 out of 1883. So they're using the 1883 kind of Geneva Alpina Heritage type thing for their limited edition, which I like. The rotor is a custom rotor. You can see there, kind of lopsided in one way. They've used this on a couple of their, I'm thinking of like the Seastrong. They've done this with the AL525, which I really like, just a little bit different. We've got a black rotor in there. You see the quality in terms of the build. Nice Swiss made watch, Swiss movement, very high quality indeed. That cool case back effect, like so. The leather on this then, just to look at the strap quickly, leather on this is beautiful. Some of their other lines, I would say, not suffer from kind of a very uncomfortable, but I wouldn't say uncomfortable, it's just a little bit brittle in terms of the leather. This one is absolutely supple. It's got the Alpina Geneva on the left hand side, but very, very soft leather, super comfortable, really nicely finished and sealed around the edges as well. And then you've got that kind of contrast stitching at the top. So that's really nice. The clasp itself is one that they're starting to use a lot more on different heritage lines that they're putting together. Some of the chronographs I've seen with this. I'm not the biggest fan of this clasp. I think it's different and it's nice. It's not massively comfortable sometimes to wear, and I'll show you what I mean by that. You kind of have to work with the clasp and the leather. So, you're kind of pulling it through one loop. You see here, you get that, and then you've got to figure out your way through the down, the kind of bottom area where the logo is. So you kind of have to pivot it and then push it through like so, and then on through, and then you've got the little kind of band securing it there. So it's a little bit more work. It's a nice clasp, don't get me wrong, different, like I said, so that's good. But it's just a little bit more work to actually get on your wrist and working. While we're at it then, wrist check. Larger case size, as I mentioned, 44mm. Wears really well. Love the lug design on this because you've got that brush top and it's circular pattern around both the top of the lugs and also the outer area of the case. And then you've got that lovely little inflection there with the bevel on the lug edge, which just creates that nice dynamic that I'm a big fan of. The crown is big and bold. That is it actually screwed in, so it sticks out a good bit. I haven't noticed when I've been wearing any of these, I haven't noticed any issues because it kind of sits up a little bit from the wrist, as you can see there. It doesn't really dig in as such when you're wearing it normally, but it is a nice big beefy crown. That's it out, change the date, change the time, super smooth movement. That is really, really nice. And then we've got the hand wind element there. So it is, superb, what you'd expect out of Alpina. Great quality, smooth sweep, very wearable. They make generally bigger watches. You look at the Alpina 4s, some of the chronographs are big and bulky. A lot of the star timers, again, 44, 45mm. So they make bigger watches, but they're always very wearable. I find, the 44 Alpina 4 is one of my favorite watches to wear, and it's a very slab-like watch. So this is one of my favorite Pilot's watches that I've had in the last year and a half, easy. It really jumped out to me when I opened the box and I saw the applied indices, the kind of depth of the dial. You won't get so much of that in the video here, but the quality of the dial surface itself is exceptional. The cutout for the date is pretty much perfect. It creates a lovely matte finish, sort of not black in color, very, very, very deep grey, but nice and rich, and it contrasts well with the vintage colour loom, the kind of sand colour loom across the dial, the hand kit, and all the markers and applied indices. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this watch. I know that a lot of members have really been enjoying it, which is great. Let me know if you have any questions yourselves about it. But for now, that's the AL525 BBG 4SH6. Retails $12.95. Like I say, going out on our Lux plan at $99, and then you can buy it for $469. So super quality, great value. Normally when we were comparing these, you could get these for about $900 in terms of comps. So the value is definitely there. You know, Swiss made, Swiss movement. You got that beautiful exhibition case back, really nice loom, a lot of attention on the dial, the way it's been polished and then brushed, and then little sort of angles and inflections, nice big crown. You've got the case back, really supple leather, a lot to like about this watch. That's the Alpina Pilot Heritage, the new line. Comes in 2 colors, I believe, this being the kind of black or dark gray, and they also have a blue, I think. So there's a couple of different options there. I really like where they're going with their new lines. I think the updates they've made to the Alpina lineup and the Star Timer and the Heritage lineup is they're really good, solid upgrades. So excited to see kind of what's coming and get more Alpina in for our members. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, guys. For now, that's the Alpina AL525 BBG 4SH6 Pilot Heritage. Beautiful, beautiful piece. Take care. Have a great day, guys. I will see you in the next one.